The poverty mindset whispers a single, toxic message: hold tight, trust no one, there's never enough. But God speaks a different language entirely. His economy operates on principles so opposite to how we think that they sound absurd at first. Let me show you why they work. Open to Proverbs 3 verses 9 to 10. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim with new wine. Read that slowly. It doesn't say, accumulate first, then you'll be secure. It says something radical: honor God with your first fruits. The best portion, the first portion, before bills, before savings, before anything else. Then what happens? Your barns overflow. This is the fundamental inversion of scarcity thinking. The poverty mindset hoards, believing accumulation brings security. God's way works opposite. The act of honoring Him with your best creates the condition for abundance. Think about it practically. A farmer who gives his best seeds to God, trusting Him for provision, experiences something the hoarder never does. He steps into partnership with the Creator. He operates from abundance consciousness instead of lack consciousness. Now turn to 2 Corinthians 9 verses 6 to 8. Remember this: whoever sows sparingly will reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will reap generously. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. Paul uses farming language deliberately. A seed never produces fruit while sitting in your pocket. Seeds produce harvests only when planted. The farmer who plants one seed reaps one plant. The farmer who plants abundantly reaps abundantly. The math is absolute. But notice Paul adds something beyond mathematics. God is able to bless you abundantly, so that you will abound in every good work. Not just you'll have enough. Abound. Overflow. Capacity beyond your needs. Why? So you overflow into good works. So your blessing multiplies beyond yourself into others' lives. So your prosperity becomes a vehicle for kingdom impact. That's not scarcity mathematics. That's abundance multiplication. Finally, Luke 6 verse 38. Jesus tells his disciples, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." Picture this. Someone hands you a bowl and says, "Measure out what you are willing to pour out using this same bowl." They take your measurement, fill it to the brim, compress it so it overflows, then pour it into your lap. The size of container you use determines the size of blessing you receive. Jesus is describing cause and effect, not reward or punishment, simple cause and effect. The generosity you extend establishes the generosity you attract. Here's where these three passages converge into one stunning truth. God's economy isn't scarcity-based. It's abundance-based. And abundance begins not with grabbing, but with opening. The poverty mind says, "Hold everything, you'll lose it." God says, "Open your hands. They'll fill faster than you can empty them." The poverty mind says, "Give and you diminish." God says, "Give and you multiply." The poverty mind says, "Your security comes from what you keep." God says, "Your security comes from what you freely offer." These aren't nice spiritual ideas. They're descriptions of how the actual universe operates. They're physics. The farmer who plants seeds actually harvests crops. The giver who operates from abundance actually finds the universe responding with abundance. The person who honors God with their first fruits actually experiences overflow. This isn't theory. It's spiritual reality. And it's available to you the moment you decide to live by it. I want to tell you about Marcus. On paper, everything shines. He earns solid income, not celebrity wealth, but genuinely comfortable by most standards. His job title impresses at parties. His apartment gleams with clean lines and modern fixtures, nestled in the neighborhood everyone aspires toward. From the outside, his life appears perfectly constructed. Yet every month around the 20th, something shifts. Marcus sits at his kitchen table, fingers resting on the keyboard. The glow from his laptop casts pale light across the surface. His paycheck has posted. Already, the outflow begins before the deposit even settles into reality. Click, click, click. His fingers move across the keys. Coffee, groceries, rent, insurance. Streaming services queued up to cancel next week, but never actually stopped. The credit card payment hits differently, minimum only, just enough to sidestep the interest spike that compounds relentlessly. His shoulders creep upward. His teeth clench together. He closes the laptop with more force than necessary. Marcus isn't reckless. No yachts. No vacations. No foolish splurges. He pays for ordinary life, the life everyone seems to navigate successfully. Yet his income evaporates the moment it lands. Like water rushing through his palms no matter how desperately he cups his hands. During work meetings, his mind drifts toward calculations. His boss mentions declining engagement. Between emails and spreadsheets, Marcus wonders whether next month's car insurance will fit. When his friend texts about Friday, his stomach tightens before he reads the venue. "I'm busy," he replies. Always busy. Every social invitation gets filtered through a lens of what he cannot afford. His girlfriend Keisha notices. She asks what's weighing on him. "Work," he says, though that's incomplete. The truth lives deeper, a constant pressure against his ribs. It's the knowledge that one unexpected bill could collapse everything. It's the whisper at midnight, one emergency away from catastrophe. That undercurrent leaks into their dinners, their conversations, their silences. When Keisha suggests going out to eat, Marcus responds with talk of saving, building walls instead of dreams. She feels the distance and wonders if he's losing interest in her. He doesn't realize she's sensing his terror. 3 a.m. The bedroom ceiling becomes his focal point in the darkness. His mind doesn't plan, it spirals. What if his car fails tomorrow? What if layoffs come in the spring? What if Keisha walks because she cannot carry the weight of his constant dread? Questions multiply like wildfire, each spawning 3 more before the first completes. Sleep becomes something others manage while he watches hours accumulate on the digital clock. The strain embeds itself into his shoulders, his neck, his breathing patterns. It erodes focus during critical presentations. It diminishes his presence during dinners with those he loves. It sharpens his words with Keisha over trivial matters, trivial only on the surface, rooted deeply in the panic that's become his baseline existence. Marcus feels utterly alone. He's profoundly mistaken. Millions inhabit this exact cage. People whose income seems reasonable, yet their souls feel impoverished. People earning good salaries while drowning internally. People whose fundamental relationship with finances has hardened into a relationship with fear. Scarcity mindset ignores bank balances. It disregards what logic tells you about stability. It functions like hidden malware corrupting your operating system, poisoning decisions, devastating every fragment of peace you might otherwise claim. But listen closely, this isn't your final destination. Marcus doesn't have to endure this framework. Neither do you. A completely different way exists to relate with resources. A path toward abundance exists, not dependent on your circumstances shifting first, but accessible, genuine, available starting today. There's a transformation that unfolds, slower than you might wish, quicker than you'd expect, when you grasp one singular truth about how God understands abundance, generosity, and blessing. That shift? It rewires everything. 3 pillars actually work. These aren't abstract ideas from some self-help book. I've watched them transform how people relate to money and their own capacity for change. Pillar 1. Gratitude. Gratitude isn't positive thinking. It's nervous system recalibration. Marcus sat in his apartment one evening and counted. His job, his apartment with walls keeping the cold out, his functioning body, his breath, his mind. For years, he'd been so fixated on absence, on what he didn't possess, that abundance surrounding him had become completely invisible. He tried an experiment, 7 days of naming 5 physical possessions he already owned before checking his phone each morning. Not future wealth, not theoretical possibility, actual objects present in the exact moment he woke up. By day 3, his shoulders had dropped, his jaw unclenched. The deep crease between his eyebrows, the one living there for months, began to soften into his skin. By day 7, catastrophizing had stopped, not because his paycheck changed. His attention had shifted. He saw surplus instead of deficit. I've replicated this dozens of times. Gratitude rewires your nervous system within a week. The scarcity alarm silences. The tightness in your chest releases. The rapid-fire worry stops, interrupting your breathing. You possess shelter. You possess breath in your lungs. You possess this precise moment. You possess capacity. When you truly see what's present, fear loses its grip. Pillar 2. Generosity. Generosity terrified Marcus initially. I barely have enough. How can I possibly give? I told him generosity isn't about large amounts. It's about shifting identity from consumer to contributor. He bought coffee for the stranger behind him in line. $5. His entire body shifted instantly. His shoulders dropped deeper. His breathing steadied. His chest expanded. He'd moved from hoarding to offering. $5 literally rewired his neurology. Here's what happens repeatedly. Acts of generosity cascade outward. The stranger whose morning brightened mentioned Marcus to a colleague. A connection formed. Later, a job opportunity emerged, not magically, but naturally, because the universe gravitates toward people operating from abundance rather than fear. Generosity takes countless forms. Volunteering your afternoon, helping a friend move without keeping score, offering expertise for free, writing an encouraging note to a person drowning in doubt, mentoring younger people, listening deeply when others speak. I'm not describing transactional karma. I'm describing relational physics. When you participate actively in God's abundance flow, blessings don't just arrive, they flow through you. Pillar 3. Stewardship. Marcus's real breakthrough happened when he completely reframed ownership. He stopped thinking this paycheck belongs to me because I earned it through my labor, and started thinking I'm temporarily entrusted with this resource. The shift sounds minor. It's revolutionary. When I made the same shift, my spending transformed overnight. Impulse purchases ended. The mental voice saying, "You deserve this," went silent. I started asking, what would a wise steward do? My choices began expressing actual values instead of anxiety. Stewardship extends everywhere. Your energy matters. How you spend it has consequences. Your relationships need stewardship. You develop them, protect them, multiply them. Your time is entrusted to you. Your attention becomes sacred ground. A steward protects. A steward develops. A steward multiplies. A steward passes improvement forward. Gratitude anchors you in reality. Panic dissolves. The ground becomes solid. Generosity opens channels. You shift from taking to offering. Abundance flows through you. Stewardship ensures wisdom. You protect. You develop. You multiply. I've watched people practice all three simultaneously. Their stress decreases measurably. Their opportunities increase. Their relationships deepen. Their purpose clarifies. Not because circumstances transformed first, because consciousness transformed first. Marcus didn't need his paycheck to double. He needed his operating system to change. And I watched him make choice today. Here's what I need from you right now. You're sitting where Marcus was sitting. The numbers refuse to add up. Panic wakes you at 3 a.m. Maybe you're telling yourself everyone struggles with money. Abundance belongs to celebrities, the fortunate, those born into different circumstances. That's the lie. Marcus believed it until he didn't. Choose one pillar today, not all three. 1. Gratitude. Tomorrow morning, before your phone, pause and name 5 physical objects you already possess. Coffee, hands, breath, sunlight through your window, the device you're holding. Do this for 7 days straight. Don't skip. Don't minimize it. Generosity. Buy coffee for the stranger behind you in line. Mentor someone younger for free. Offer expertise without calculating return. Notice what shifts in your body when you move from consumer to contributor. Your breathing changes. Your shoulders drop. Your chest expands. Stewardship. Examine one decision you'll make differently. That purchase you're considering. Your conversation scheduled for later. How you spend your afternoon. Make that choice as a steward instead of an entitled consumer. What would wisdom choose right now? 1 pillar. Today, here's what Marcus discovered. He didn't wait for circumstances to transform first. He didn't accumulate money before testing the system. He chose 1 pillar and practiced it consistently. His nervous system recalibrated within 2 weeks. Within 6 weeks, his first real opportunity arrived. 3 months later, his relationship with Keisha had deepened. She noticed his shoulders drop, heard him make plans instead of excuses, felt his presence return to their dinner table. Not because the universe rewarded him magically, because he stepped into alignment with how abundance operates. What matters now? This transformation doesn't require overhauling your life. It requires one decision made today, then tomorrow, then the next day. Repetition builds momentum. The scarcity mindset didn't install overnight. Neither will it dismantle overnight. But every act of gratitude weakens it. Generosity dismantles it. Stewardship erodes its foundation. I've watched hundreds make this shift. Marcus became one of them. So did I. So can you. The shift starts small. Choose one pillar. Commit to 7 days. Your choice is today, not tomorrow when circumstances improve. Not next month with more money. Not someday when you feel ready. Today, right now. Pick your pillar. Take your step. God's economy doesn't wait for you to have enough before opening the floodgates. It opens them the moment you participate. Marcus stepped through. His entire life recalibrated. Will you?